What is going on, everybody? This is your host of the Colin Thompson Show, brought to you by Not For Long Media. I appreciate everybody joining us. Thank you so much. We are redoing the beginning to the Zach Elb episode. Couple technical difficulties on my end here, so we're redoing here the morning after. Zach Elb episode will come out around noon today, Tuesday. It's around 10 a.m. right now. So I appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Lots of fun stuff going on here at Not For Long Media. I've been holding things back. A lot of different breaking news. I guess I'll start out with the breaking news is this. The boys are coming camping. The boys are coming camping. I repeat, the boys are coming camping. And what that means is down in training camp, we're having Not For Long Media for the second year in a row. Jack Connell, my right-hand man here at Not For Long Media. Justin Ayers, my right-hand man here at Not For Long Media. Two guys that have been with me here for quite some time, grinding, helping me run everything, doing a little bit of everything. Two guys that are just stars in the media business in the making. If they're not already, in my mind, they will be down in the Carolina Panthers training camp with us, hanging out, doing some media coverage. They'll be there at the end of the month for a Friday practice and a Saturday night under the lights fans practice, which is always a really cool one, kind of a kickoff to training camp for the fans. That's in late July. So in a couple of weeks, the boys will be heading down. They'll be coming camping with us, getting the rental car from Charlotte Airport, putting the rag top back, I'm sure, and they're going to be headed to Spartanburg, where we practice at Wofford University. It's a beautiful facility there. So looking forward to camp, looking forward to getting our Not For Long Media team down there for the second year in a row, covering what we got going on in Carolina. We did an awesome job with it last year. Justin Ayers came down, and Justin just did a fantastic job covering. Check out what we did on YouTube. Some really cool stuff there with a bunch of different players. And then I got to interview players after practice. So he just went through a full practice, and then I'm interviewing guys, which was really unique in that aspect. It also was the hottest practice of my life, the joint practice against the Ravens, our last one there before we had a day off, and then a preseason game against the Ravens. So very blessed to, be able to have them down there. And, thanks to the Panthers media team for making that possible. It's a really cool thing, a humbling thing for me to be able to do that. Guys, Zach Elb is coming up next here on the deck. Up next for us, I have a few things to talk about first. First off, I want to talk about our friends over at Fudge Kitchen, the original Fudge Kitchen. It's the summertime. It's fudge time. Year round, it's fudge time, but we all know in the summer, no matter what I'm going to sell you on here on the podcast about the original Fudge Kitchen, fudgekitchens.com, the summertime is for fudge, right? Saltwater taffy, the fudge, all the different flavors. You're down the shore. You're bringing it back home with you, maybe, right? Bringing it to, Aunt Carol at home who couldn't make it down the shore this year for whatever reason, or maybe doesn't want to go down, or, has a different week later in the summer, and you guys rotate the fudge coming home every once in a while. So fudgekitchens.com, bring some home to Aunt Carol. Maybe send some to some Aunt Carol, because you can. USPS, I was there a couple weeks ago. They literally make the fudge so fresh. It doesn't even go to the counter to sell. It goes right into the box, right out of the fudge kind of square, the tin they put it in. After they make it in the kettle pots, they rest it in the tin, and then boom, cut it up, put it in a box, ship it to you, USPS. The stuff lasts forever too. It's awesome. The wax paper keeps it so fresh, so crispy, creamy. Just it's unbelievable. They have the best fudge in the game. So shout out to our friends at the original Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. SeatGeek, use promo code Colin Thompson. You guys are going to games this year, heading down to a Phillies game. Pop that code in on the way down when you're trying to, get those tickets last minute, cheap as possible. Any ticket at $50 or over total on your ticket. So you buy 2 tickets, it's going to be about $50. Pop that promo code in, Colin Thompson, COLINTHOMPSON. 1 L in Colin. Only one way to spell Colin is 1 L in Colin, by the way, folks. SeatGeek, promo code Colin Thompson, $20 off. Appreciate you guys. And this is really big news for us here, Not For Long Media. I'll be honest with you. So a couple of years ago, when I got to the Carolina Panthers, there was a sleep drink there. And I've taken sleep products before, and you wake up in the morning groggy, or you have like really crazy dreams, or, all the above. Something along the lines of there's discomfort in something. And you're seeking the sleep drink because you're trying to get back on a regular pattern. You're trying to perform the better the next day, whether you're performing like an athlete, or you need to perform at work, or you need to perform at being a parent, or you need to perform after maybe a night out. SOM sleep came along, and I started taking it. And I've been someone who's always had alarm anxiety, anxious before bed, thinking about the next day ahead, We always have early mornings in football. So to miss that alarm or something, which I never do, but I have an anxiety with it, and it keeps me up at night. Or I'll get addicted to Netflix and I watch 2 or 3 more episodes than I should be. I started taking SOM sleep. It started kind of shutting me down a little bit earlier. I would get through an episode of Netflix as I'm trying to wind down, and my eyes would be batting shut the last 10 minutes of the episode. I'm like, this stuff's pretty good. I woke up in the morning refreshed, literally no grogginess, and like ready to go. Like I didn't take anything. When before I would take something and I'd be just knocked out in the morning. We need a cup of coffee. We need some waters. We need a workout to kind of get going again. So it defeated the purpose for me. So literally, yes, they're going to be partnering us here, Not for Long Media. Get SOM Sleep. SOM Sleep, SOM. It's the best sleep product. But honestly, it's been a part of my life, and it's changed me as a football player, as an athlete, as a person, husband. It's allowed me to do more, wind down, and then get back going in the morning. So I'm very fortunate that all our sponsorships are stuff that I use. In particular, SeatGeek, Fudge Kitchen, SOM Sleep. But it's something that's near and dear to my heart because it's really helped my career, helped me as a person. So SOM Sleep, check them out. GetSOM.com. Use promo code Colin. Every one of our podcasts will have a promo code for this, guys. So we're going to have about 6 podcasts here rolling by the fall underneath our apron, which is really exciting. And that's part of the breaking news that will be coming down the line. So SOM Sleep, GetSOM.com, GetSOM.com, GetSOM.com. Use promo code Colin, COLIN, only one way to spell Colin. The bottom line with SOM is this, guys. SOM also relaxes the mind, prepares the brain for transition for a smooth wake up from sleep. It's got magnesium in it, which I take every night before bed anyway, supplement-wise. It has B6 in it, which should be a part of any healthy diet, honestly. Helps with your sleep patterns. L-theanine, naturally found in green tea. It's shown to promote relaxation, and then produces GABA, which we have in our body naturally, helps calm, the active brain and promotes relaxation. So really, it's got a lot of really natural stuff in it. It's a part of my healthy diet that I do year round. And I'm really fortunate to be able to work with those guys at SOM Sleep and have them be a part of our team here because it's something that I have a legit passion for. So GetSOM.com, ship yourself something. Promo code Colin. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. Let me know what you think because it's a game changer. Be consistent with it. I think you're going to see results over time. Fudge Kitchens, Get SOM, and SeatGeek. Thank you guys for your support. Okay, Zach Gelb's joining us. CBSSports.com, CBS Sports radio host, star, Temple football fan, Temple graduate, star. I think you're going to love the interview. Before I get to that, though, I got to get to my bar of the week. I got to get to what's been kind of, as they say on Spitting Chicklets, grinding my gears. All the Boston guys up there. But I want to talk about the bar of the week this week. The bar of the week this week is Shunk Gully in Santa Rosa Beach. First off, Shunk Gully, the name of the bar, is named after a shipwreck a few miles off the beach there where they're at in Santa Rosa Beach. Beautiful area right between Destin and Panama City, Highway 30A. It's fantastic. It's one of the most stunning beaches and places I've ever been. I love going there. Shunk Gully, Santa Rosa Beach. TVs wise, 5 out of 5. It is the best. I've never been to a bar, especially how their ambiance is. It's indoors, it's outdoors, it's 2 levels. The merch side of the property is the best merch I've ever seen when it comes to a retail store paired with a bar. It's unreal. And Key West got a ton of them. This is the best I've ever seen. Shunk Gully, Santa Rosa Beach. So there's an outdoor area that's like turfed, and there's a tent, and there's live music, and there's bars outside, and there's a seating area out on the deck. It all looks at the water, folks. That's literally crystal clear blue water, white, sandy, baby powder colored beaches. It has a bar on the first level. It has a restaurant on the first level. And then you go up to the second level, and it's a huge bar, a huge railing that overlooks the water where you can sit and eat at. High top tables so everyone can see. I don't think there's a low top table in there. There's some, but not a ton. And then if you look out, every view is the water. There's a back patio now where you can kind of see the town square where they're at there. And then also an awesome bar. So TVs all over the place. Unreal place to watch March Madness. SEC football down there is Mecca. So TVs 5 out of 5. The food and ambiance are both fantastic. From the oysters to the crab claws, everything's ridiculously good. I love it. But they're my 2 favorite things on the menu. So the ambiance is a 5 out of 5. You're not going to find a better view than there. So food and ambiance 5 out of 5, TV 5 out of 5, cold beer, good drinks 4 out of 5. 5 out of 5 for cold beer is your beer has to be in ice for a 5 out of 5 in the cold beer scale. And then the bartenders and the service is a 4 out of 5. So our highest score so far, 2 weeks in, 18 out of 20 goes to Shunkgully, Santa Rosa Beach, our bar of the week. Okay, I digress. Shout out to Team USA. They won the Women's World Cup. Congrats to that team. It's been fun watching in women's lacrosse, that world. My wife played at Florida, women's lacrosse at Florida, and then we became friends and moved into this Maryland area and got to know so many different people. But before that, we knew a large majority anyways. And to be able to stay close with them and get to know them and then watch them accomplish their goal of winning, the World Cup, which was an incredible final game there, kind of in the rain at Towson University. They beat Canada in a close game. I believe they won by 3. And Taylor Cummings, who's a friend of ours, he's been on the podcast. One player, of the entire tournament, pretty much best player in the world, which is an incredible thing, and so humble and just so gracious and such an ambassador for the game of women's lacrosse in particular, where it has a really kind of small cult following. And she and her team, Alice Mercer, the rest of the girls there, trainer, all those big names in women's lacrosse have tried to expand it. And when you have a team like Canada, a team like US, England's in there, I think Australia was in there in the Final Four, to make that push and grow the game. It's really cool. So I love supporting them. My wife and I love supporting them. Our friends love supporting them. And it's been an absolute fun journey for us to see, Sydney, my wife, play against you guys in college and then to win a World Cup here after waiting 5-6 years due to COVID. It's really cool. So props to the USA women's lacrosse team. There was a tweet that was sent out from a gentleman, and he actually deleted the tweet, which is a coward move. And he was ripping Taylor Cummings, who, again, it was on the podcast 2 weeks ago. Whether you're a lacrosse fan or not, check it out. Taylor's a huge ambassador for just women's sports in general, and the popularity of it and the views of it and just getting eyes on it and the impressions. She's the best in the business at it. Her and her teammates, that really all nations, all countries that were there, did a great job with it and growing the game. Final was on ESPN2. It was fantastic. Well, Taylor had a sick goal. Comes around the back of the net, opens up, rips it, top right corner. Place goes nuts. It's early on. I think it was in the first quarter, second quarter. And in women's lacrosse, you drop your stick when you score so they can put the ball in the stick, because the net is supposed to be firmer in the stick. So the ball is cradled as much. It's a little bit different game, the men's game, where they're trying to cradle the ball and you can kind of beat the shit out of the person in the men's game. It's a little bit different in the women's game. You really can't make contact, too low on the stick or near the hands. You got to kind of make it towards the head of the stick or it's a penalty. So Taylor comes around the net, rips it, scores, slams her stick down. The place is going crazy because, again, you have to put your sticks down. Well, she slams it down. I don't think it's a big deal. It's very normal now in women's lacrosse because you put the stick down and you don't just drop it. Early on, they were scoring and forgetting to drop it and we're just throwing it. So it's encouraged to drop your stick. So she scores, slams the stick down, goes crazy with her teammates. They're going nuts. The place going crazy. So the video comes out of Taylor doing it, and some guy, I can't read the tweet anymore. He's deleted it. But essentially what he said was, this is not classy. If I had a daughter, I wouldn't want her to see this. If I was a coach, I would be adamantly against this. You would be reprimanded, and I wouldn't want my daughter to be anything a part of what that is. You would die for your daughter to be absolutely everything that Taylor Cummings is. And I'm not even talking about her lacrosse stuff. Won the Heisman Women's Lacrosse, the Tewaaraton 3 years in a row, national champion 2 times, unbelievable ambassador for the game of lacrosse, high school lacrosse coach, has her own clinics, individually works with people, mentor. So there's that lacrosse side. The person side is an unbelievable side. And then talk about first class. Taylor responds, quote, "When you've trained for one game for decades, every moment hits so hard. I sincerely hope that your daughter gets to experience the joy of competing for a gold medal one day. If and when she does, I'll be cheering her on, and I will love watching her celebrate proudly with her teammates." End quote. First class from Taylor, no shock there. And I responded to Taylor and I said this: I used to be the hand the ball to the ref guy, but once you find out how short-lived it is, I didn't care anymore. Spike it, have a blast, and celebrate together. So tough day for my man there, who tweeted that and then deleted it after everybody jumped down his back like a coward. He should have just commented and said, you know what, you're right. Thanks for helping me understand the other side of things. And it would have been a great feel good story for Twitter, but then you delete it and then it goes to the wayside and then you have a bunch of comments here, but whatever, it is what it is. Twitter is not real life, folks, but it's some interesting conversations that I enjoy reading. Taylor gets 70 retweets out of it, almost 100, 1,200 likes. So there's a lot of visibility on it. So, my take on this is it hit me like a ton of bricks. So when I was out of the league, this is my second year being out of the NFL. I got cut from the Bears and drove 13 hours home by myself, just like roller coaster ride of a drive. Like, what am I doing? Am I in the right situation? I just went through the hardest training camp of my life. A mandatory mini camp before for the rookie players that don't have accredited season, which I didn't have at the time. And then a whole training camp where we had 5 preseason games. We started early because we have a new head coach. It was an awesome opportunity, but a nightmare situation for the 6th tight end, 7th tight end. I had a ton of opportunities and it was an unbelievable thing. And I was able to really become a better football player, which is what it's all about in the end of the day. But man, it was a grind. It was like a 6-week training camp. It was like nothing I've ever experienced before. And I drove home and kind of was at a rock bottom moment there, I thought, in my NFL career. Well, I started doing a lot of things, coaching football, just saying yes to everything, volunteered to be a football coach, but I still am for Cape May Regional High School, Lower Cape May Regional. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years now. And then I would do radio, Eagles pre and post game live on Sundays and Mondays. So Monday NFL Countdown, Sunday NFL Countdown. I did it for a local radio station in Philly, Atlantic City, 97.3 ESPN. And then I would call games for Temple football, 97.5 The Fanatic in Philadelphia. So I would travel with Temple football. So I'll never forget this. I traveled with Temple football. There was a night game. We got back to Philly at like 3 a.m. I stayed overnight in Philly, and I had to do a radio show in the morning. 3 hours before every Sunday, I would do a radio show. Eagles, pregame live. So if they played at 1, we'd kick off at 10. I did the radio from 10 to noon. And then I drove to Cape May, New Jersey, where I was living at the time. And then I would just probably roll right into our hometown bar there called the Seaview, which will make this list of the bar of the week at some point in time. And I sat there and grabbed a beer and some wings. And it was kind of like my off day Sundays, even though I did radio in the morning and I did radio the night before. And I had to train again on Mondays, but it was kind of my only time to have a beer and just kind of unwind a little bit. And I was sitting there, and we have a big Ravens contingency at the bar in the Seaview called the Raven Haven. There's an Eagles section as well. It's a really cool place to watch games on Sundays. In Cape May, New Jersey, year-round bar. It's packed for Eagles games year-round. Ravens as well. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching the Ravens score. And the Ravens section's going crazy, but at the end, they're all hemming and hawing because some guy just danced and celebrated and had a ball with his teammates and was putting on a show and all those different things. And I used to be the hand the ball to the ref guy. You saw that in my tweet there. I sat there and it hit me like a ton of bricks when I was like, my initial reaction was like, come on, man, just hand the ball to the ref. And I was like, you know what? Screw that shit. Yeah, it's overrated. It is so hard to make it in this profession of NFL football, to make it to the World Cup of women's lacrosse, to be the MVP of the World Cup, which makes you the greatest player on the planet for that moment of time. To make it to the NFL, to be one of 53 men, to be one of 46 men that dress on game day on 32 business jobs, opportunities in the world, 32 organizations, to score, which I'm very blessed that I did one time, and to celebrate with your teammates in that joyous moment. It's the mountain. And to be on that mountain for just maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, go enjoy it, celebrate with your teammates, spike that ball, spike that stick, pop it, throw it into the 5th row. Who cares? Hand it to a fan. As long as you're respectful of the game, right? I'm all for that. Obviously, there's disrespecting the game and there's things that are bad for the game, and we don't need to bring them to light because it's a waste of time. But we all know what respect for the game looks like. Taylor Cummings slamming her stick. What's the difference between Rob Gronkowski doing that and spiking a football? Every tight end in the world wants to be Rob Gronkowski. First-class football player. In all accounts, I know as a person, first-class guy. And now all of a sudden, because she slams her stick, we're going to be picking and choosing. But probably on Sunday, when Mark Andrews spikes that football for the Ravens, you go crazy. So I'm not saying they're picking sides here or whatever that gentleman was decided. But my point is, it's short-lived. Enjoy it. Tear it up. Congrats to Taylor and her teammates on winning the World Cup. Major props to you guys. The bottom line is Taylor's first class. That team is first class. It was really cool to watch them win. I know they were very proud. Their families were very proud. And an awesome victory for Team USA Women's Lacrosse. As I digress here, I did not watch the WNBA All-Star game. I have not watched a WNBA game in a very long time. I watch a little college basketball because of our friends at Georgia Tech. Nell Fortner has been on the podcast. Mickey DeMoss has been on the podcast. They're the coaches for Tech Hoops. I watch a little UConn, South Carolina, just like everybody else. Maybe a little Notre Dame if it's on too. LSU women's basketball is good now too because the coach from Baylor switched over there. But the WNBA, I saw a picture of the WNBA All-Star Game MVP trophy. The thing is the size of an iPhone. Come on, WNBA. What the heck is that? We're going to show the clip here of I forget who it was who won the award, and that's bad on me. But the bottom line is we should know who won the award because the trophy is so obnoxious for winning the WNBA All-Star Player of the Game. So not a good look on the WNBA. You need to be buttoned up in pro sports or you're going to get picked on. And the picked on thing isn't always good. Everyone says attention's always good, but when you're trying to grab more eyeballs as women's sports, right? We talked about USA Women's Lacrosse. They're gathering more eyeballs. They're trying new ways to be innovative. Men's lacrosse is in the same boat, what they're doing with the PLL, and they're trying to do like a drive to survive type thing, right? They're being creative. They're being innovative. They're doing probably working harder than some of these big leagues that it just happens naturally because there's decades and hundreds of years of generations of fans like the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. So bad on the WNBA. Props to USA Women's Lacrosse. Great job. So much fun rooting for you guys. Check out fudgekitchens.com, guys. Ship some of your family, your friends some fudge over the summer. Get some sleep. Promo code Colin. It's life-changing. Changed my life as an athlete, as a person, as a player. It's been fantastic. SeatGeek, going to a game this summer. Promo code Colin Thompson. Can't beat it. Guys, I'm going to send it over to Zach Gelb. I appreciate your support. That does it for another episode of the Colin Thompson Show. Hope you guys enjoyed the bar of the week. There'll be more to come with that. And more to come with Not For Long Media. Lots of fun moving forward. So thank you guys, and hope you guys enjoy the interview with the Temple grad, CBS Sports, Zach Gelb.